Welcome one all, my name is Tawess, and today we seem to be having a slight Dutch angle. And that is mostly because I use the webcam, because that camera is somewhere. You can see the tripod over there. The camera is not on a tripod. I don't know where the tripod and the camera became separated, but somewhere along the line they became separated. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Dutch angles today, or maybe we are, but not in that way. Assassinscreed Valhalla. Yeah. Not unexpected, we have had rumors of this coming for quite some time. So, it's still nice to see it confirmed though. And so far, from the information we got, it would seem that the game is actually shaping up to be something of a rather wild ride. Now, personally, as a Swede, it's nice to be able to navigate through a culture that I'm at least remotely familiar with. Not to be like that, but most other games, not particularly familiar with the cultures. But as I'm pretty sure most other people who have had their cultures represented in the game, I am... what's the English word for it? I can't remember the word. Let's say I am somewhat reserved. That's a good word. I'm slightly reserved about this. Because Vikings. But, I mean, beyond that, things are shaping up really nice. I mean, we have a game that is so far offering two protagonists a la Odyssey. Nothing really new there. Also, Syndicate had two. And both are canon, so probably more a Syndicate-ish setup. Also, they always liked Fine Evie. They were nice guys. Well, they weren't nice guys, but they were interesting anyway. But, here is where the problem comes in. The original games were roughly, loosely inspired by the Assassins pronunciation. And Vikings never really had much of a connection to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was seemed to be some connection between the Arabic world and the Vikings. But not when they went that way. And that way is the English way. So, not really sure why we're still calling it Assassin's Creed per se, because I don't think there's much DNA connecting these two anymore. I mean, I know why, brand recognition and all that, but there's really not any real DNA keeping them together anymore. And if you think of that, we should probably just call it, I don't know, Warrior's Creed, the Abstergo experiment, Abstergo. Anyway, name. It's pointless at this point. Not even Hidden Blade. No, because he's Viking. I didn't think Hidden was a... People, I know this is pretty much Viking, the TV show's The Game. But a hidden blade is still a smart thing to have. As we see. But of course, on the other hand, his armor is so ornate and full of thingies that quite honestly you could have hidden that blade anywhere. It is hidden. I didn't even realize he had it until he actually stabbed us in the eye with it. But we can see how things turns out. I'm cautiously optimistic, if you put it like that. The last couple of games have been fairly good, and this seems to be fun. Probably still gonna be a grind. Now, I did hear there was about something like 15 studios involved in this, and in some ways it's explainable, because you have a studio doing the audio, the music, you have some mocap, you have some doing animations, you have some doing anything and everything. As long as the central core which would be Ubisoft in this case, is run tightly, this should not be much of a problem, barring the usual delays. And I just saw an article about the fact there's going to be rap battles in it. I mean, not rap battle, but English words. No words. Not rap battles as we know them today, but poetic exchanges of insults and one-upmances. That's gonna be fun. I like that. I like my heroes with a bit of sass. Some panache. Panache is that word? I have no freaking clue today. My English is simply not with me. My English is left. It took stuff and it went. Like, hoo-hoo. Or as dear Mr. Benjamin would have said, they come around and fucked off again. So yeah, it's looking good, that's what I'm trying to say. It seems to be something that's actually worth watching. Watching. Fuck it, most people actually just watch games these days, so. Now, what I'm not looking forward to, what actually I'm a bit looking forward to, because for me this is sort of a guilty pleasure, is that how will these 10-ish collector's editions look? Because we know they're going to be 10-ish, probably. That's what they usually do. Might be a bit less this time, but I mean, seriously, they're going to be like 3. They're going to be the normal, it's going to be the deluxe, it's going to be the gold, it's going to be the platinum perhaps. And then it's going to be like 3 to 7 named-ish things. Like the Shield Wall edition, the Longship edition, the Very Angry Man with an Axe edition. And then you're probably going to have the edition that likes the most. And that is the one that doesn't contain any game. Now you might think, what the heck are you talking about? But they actually had issues. I have issues. They have games. They had collector's editions that did not contain the game. You still forked out several $100s for them, but they did not contain the game. So you actually had to go out and buy the game separately. That, my friends, is what I call a true collector's edition. It's the edition for the people who are just there for the faff. And now I have my fair amount of Assassin's Creed's faff laying about. So I shouldn't pretend that I'm not one of these people who buy collector's editions. I do. I like them. It is a guilty pleasure of mine. But we'll see how this turns out. I'm not entirely sure. We don't know. Anyway, Vikings, Assassin's Creed. If they can make it work, this is going to be a wonderful game. And, I mean, it takes place in England, mostly, because, well, Norwegian Vikings, and partially Norway. Great country. Doing great right now. No, honestly, they're doing this really good. They did a lot of faring towards England. Left a mark, literally. Probably brought back some Celts with them too. You never know. And yeah. As far as the story goes, we don't know. We got a cinematic trailer containing Odin Van Kenobi and a very angry man with an axe, and a lot of other angry men with axes and shields, and they got hit in the face with stuff. Looks like you could dual wield, looks like you can throw things. Pretty much it's going to be your... What are you doing? Things are falling about. I might have ghosts. I don't know. Did something fall into my drink after? Something fall into my drink? I think something fell into my drink. Why did something fall into my drink? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Anyway, back on track. We are very sidetracked today, so... To sum things up, I am cautiously optimistic about this game because it looks good so far. What I read so far reads good. If you like Assassin's Creed, it seems to be a good game. I'm not sure if this is how it's going to turn out, but it's how I hope it's going to turn out. I think this is how it's going to turn out. But we'll see. Now, the trailer and all that, you can just look that up online. I'm not going to run it in the background because, well, I don't like it. So, I'm going to link it down there though, if you can't find it on your own for some odd reason. At this point, I think all your social medias have probably been bombarded with this. So, until next time, stay safe, be kind, and play fair. Bye!